Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you've had a wonderful Easter. I'm going to do a little presentation to you today on another drawing exercise. As you can see, I do quite a lot of faces, so we're going to look at portraits. Enjoy. Hi all, welcome. I hope all is well, everyone's staying safe. So like before, starting with a bit of a presentation. So the art skill we're going to look at, I said portraits, but in particular we're going to look at proportion of the face. So how do we make sure that everything is where it should be? Okay. Now, some of you may have seen the video before where I did a demonstration of drawing a portrait. You can see in this, you've got your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Just how we're going to set that out and getting our spacing right. So, importantly, we're going to have within this art and maths. And it doesn't have to be overly mathematical, but there is method to everything you're going to do in this. So to start with, what I'd like you to do is you draw out a cross. If you do it 24 centimetres in height, and then at the halfway point, so what is half of 24? We've got 12. We do the horizontal, and that's 15 centimetres wide. So you've then got 7.5 centimetres either side. All right, nice and simple. Any old pencil will do. I've got a different collection of pencils there, different makes. As long as it's got graphite in it, you'll be able to draw with it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to map in a face shape. At this point, it doesn't need to be perfect. And please do not panic about, oh, it doesn't look right. Oh, it looks like a shield. Oh, it doesn't matter massively. Just don't go too heavy with the pencil too quickly. So we've got sort of overly egg shape, sometimes a little bit broader at the top. Okay, so map that in. Now, what are the key features of our face? And I can hear you all screaming and shouting. We've got eyes. We've got a nose. And a mouth. Okay, so how are we going to make those fit in? Now, the first horizontal that is in the middle, what do you think that might represent? Well, that is our eye line. So and we fit in our eyes on that line. And then what we're going to do, below that, we're going to put in another line. And it's rules of halves really. So as we know before, we did 24, half it was 12. So in the bottom half of our face, we're going to go half again. So what's half of 12? Correct. See it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to put a mark in there. And we'll just lightly sketch in a line across. And then in this bottom quarter now, we're going to go half again. So what's half of 6? Well done. We're now 3. Okay. We're just going to put a little faint line in again. And it looks a little bit like a crash test dummy. So, fitting in the eyes, the nose, and mouth. Okay, so if we go with eyes first, how big do you think an eye is going to be on here? And the important fact within that is that not everyone's eyes are the same, but the spacing, the proportion will be. So we've drawn out the head and we've put in the eye line, we've done the spacing of the eyes. Now drawing an eye is a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we draw a little C shape and we scoop across. And we go up and over and down. And then our eyelid just reinforces that. And then we're going to put in our iris and this is the coloured bit of our eye, and then we put in the pupil, and the pupil is the black bit. And why do you think it's black? Now, the answer for that is that it's actually a hole, and you're looking in at the inside of an eye, and it's where the light comes into our eye and then creates the picture on the back of the eye, and those messages are then fed into our brain, and we actually see upside down, and it's very much like a camera in effect. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to move those over here. I'm just going to draw it quickly. Okay. Same sort of thing. Okay. Now moving on, we've got the nose. And the nose is spaced on this line, and we know that. But also what we need to think about is how wide is our nose? Does it come out here? Well, in fact, similar sort of guidelines, it fits between our eyes. And we know that that's 3 centimetres on this drawing. So what we can do is, if we think about what's half of 3 centimetres, and I all crying at the same time, well, that's 1.5. So we space that between the vertical line. That's where our nose is going to go. And for drawing our nose, just to make it simple for you, we're just going to do some brackets and a handlebar. And that's how we roughly create our nose. So we do our brackets, we do our handlebar, and that's how we're going to get that to start with. We can work on adding to that, okay? And then below that, we've got our mouth. Like our eyes, like our nose, the line represents where the mouth rests, not the middle of the mouth, okay? So again, we're looking at what sort of shape, and we get that dip in the middle of our top lip, underneath our nose. Then our lips come out, and then we get a slightly fuller bottom lip, potentially. Now, how wide do you think it is? And what does it correspond to? So, as we're saying, proportion, maths. Is our mouth wider than our nose? I think you'd all agree that it is. Is it as wide as our eyes? Maybe if we were smiling really hard, but if we're relaxing, what it does is it lines up with the middle of our eyes. And in fact, generally lines up with our pupils. Okay. And then, like you can see here, our nose has lined up with the corner. Okay, does that make sense? And then what we do, we just measure down just over 1 centimetre to the middle of our mouth. Put in our little dish. Come out. We put in a bit of shape there. And we put in our bottom lip. Do then opposite. There you go. So that's our key features. Now, putting the ears on. Where do we think our ears fit? Now, they're on the side of our face, so in here. But also, what do they line up with? Are they above? Are they below? What do they line up with? So, they line up with our eyes. Come up just above. And then they line up at the bottom with our nose. So if on yourself, just draw round a line from your eye round, and it'll come to the edge of your ear. And from your nose, draw round, it will come to the bottom of your ear. Maybe, you know. quite hard to get them exactly the same, and most people's ears are not going to be exactly the same. Okay. Something like that. So that's got us quite a long way through that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to one that I'd already done, that I can start adding a bit more to. So here we can start thinking about what makes it male or female, because at the moment we've got a fairly androgynous, it's quite a nice word that, drawing. So things that change the way we look at it is potentially some shading, but also facial hair, eyebrow shaping, and hairstyles. So if we go male and female as halves, on our female side, we're going to make our eye makeup a little bit more dramatic. Start adding a little bit more detail. Okay. We accentuate, that's a good word as well, the eyelashes. Not to say that men don't have eyelashes. In fact, men quite often have very nice eyelashes, but what we don't often do is add the makeup to accentuate, to show them up more. Right, so there we go. Whereas if we go male side, same idea. We can get a bit of shadow in here. Okay. What you'll notice, my style of drawing, I scribble quite a lot. Now, eyebrows. So they're above our eye. Think about shape. As if it's been drawn on. Whereas on the male side, it's a little bit more freeform. And again, just put a little bit of shading in here. Okay, marvellous. Now, I'm just going to put a bit of shading in on our nose. But also what changes is jawline. So on the male side, we get a much squarer jaw. The female side is much smoother. And obviously, not that men can't wear lipstick, but we again don't accentuate our lip size and colour very often. So, it's our female side. But then, on this side, we're still going to get a bit of darkness here and there. But we're going to add a little bit of whiskers. today's fashion style is to have a bit of a beard going on, a bit of a hipster. And then we're going to choose some hairstyle. Nothing too over the top. And there you go. Played around with it, basic template, get your proportion right, and then you can move forwards. Thanks a lot for spending some time with me, and I'll show you a couple of my portraits in a bit. Thanks a lot. See you soon. A few of my portrait studies. And as you can see, if I come down, you can see the line going down through the face, across for the eye, nose, mouth. Okay, works well. What else have we got in here, portrait wise? Great big one there, myself. I've got this one here, just finished working on. So yeah, give it a go. Thank you. Hi, hope you really enjoyed that tutorial on proportion. Just going to show you around the studio quickly, a few portraits. So behind me you can see painting here, female face portrait. The scale proportion is really important. You can see the vertical line and then the equal spacing for the eyes, the nose and the mouth as it cascades down, half, quarter, eighth. Really useful. Looking on round. New painting there. So same idea, really quite straightforward stuff. Lots going on in terms of painting, but you can see the proportion in there again. The forehead taking up almost half of the painting of the face, the eyes, the nose and then the mouth. Big beard there. So go home, enjoy having a go, playing with the idea of proportion. Just sketch it out to start with. You don't need to be so sort of linear about it. Vertical line, horizontal line, make a cross, then split it down, give it a go. Thanks a lot. Stay safe, bye.